Hey guys, Panzer J back here in Operation A View to a Kill. It's turn 13, July of 42. 13.7 for the Italians, so this game can turn pretty quick. Just in the last maybe turn and a half, things have started to look grim for the Axis. I think we've hit our high water mark. I think Bruce counted up the points, and I think he had the Axis at 9 right now, and the Allies in the Comintern maybe at 4 each, but that is not going to stay that way much longer. From over in the Pacific and the British, the U.S., and I wouldn't be surprised if the KMT breaks out this turn. So the Japan's got their hands full, the Japanese do, and then for the European Axis, I was feeling semi-confident again not that long ago, but things took a turn in the Mediterranean and in Russia. The Russians just got like huge stacks of infantry just all across European Russia there. So again, I think we've hit our high water mark for the Axis, so we're going to do what we can do here to hold on and make a respectable showing towards the last third of this game here. Okay, so let's get into Italy's lone tech roll. We're going to try for large ship constructions. It's at stage 2, and that's an 8 or higher. A 9 succeeds, so we continue our hot streak for tech at least. Suppose that's something. So that moves to stage 3 for large ship. And then for purchases, Italy had 15. We're going to spend all of it. We're going to do a fighter for 10, an airborne for 3, 13, and a militia for 2. So I got these units over here because at the start of the following turn after Italy has a ground unit adjacent to Iraq that aligns to Italy, or it would have been German, but Italy got there first because they took Transjordan. So Iraq now aligns, so I'm going to take off the infantry and the militia. Put down an infantry in northern Iraq, a militia in southern, and then put the Italian roundel down there for each of those territories. Okay, so that's up $2 for Italy. Okay, on to attacks. I think we only have one. So this naval transport here in M5 is going to pick up the Marine in northern Italy. We are at a major base, so it's going to come down 1, 2, 3, drop the Marine off in Cyprus, and go and port at that major port there in Syria. So that's worth $1. And I think that's it for combat. So let's go ahead. So Italy went up to 2 for Iraq and 1 for Cyprus. So they go from 13 to 16. And then we took $1 off of the British. They dropped to 28. Okay, so that is it for combat. So let's get into some non-combat. How about here in East Africa? We're going to have this infantry in Nubia come down to Abyssinia. We're going to have this infantry in Eritrea come down to Abyssinia. We're going to have these 2 infantry in British Somaliland come over to Abyssinia. We're going to have the cavalry come over to Abyssinia. We're going to have this stack of 5 colonial infantry come up into Abyssinia. That's it there. We've got this Marine in Transjordan is going to back up 1 to Syria. We've got our infantry in northern Iraq that's going to move over 1 to Syria. We got these 3 infantry in western Egypt. They're going to back out 1 to Tobruk. We've got this motorized infantry in Tripolitania is going to come up 1 to Tripoli. We've got this coastal sub in M8. It's going to come over 1 to M4. We've got 2 fighters in Tobruk. One is going to come down 1, 2, 3, and land in Abyssinia. The other one is going to leave Tobruk and go 1, 2, and land on that light carrier there in C-Zone M2. We got 2 mountain infantry in northern Italy. They're going to come over 1 to western Yugoslavia. We've got 1 militia here in Rome. It's going to move up to northern Italy. And I think that is it for non-combat. Okay, so unit placement. We're putting our paratrooper in northern Italy. We're putting our fighter in northern Italy. And we're going to put a militia here on Sardinia. So that should be it for Italian non-combat. So let's do some incomes. So we spent everything. We are up to 16. And we get our $2 bonus for no enemy warships in the Med. So Italy should have $18 to spend next turn. Okay, so let's do a unit recap. In northern Italy, we have an infantry, a militia, an airborne, and a fighter. Rome has 2 infantry, 2 militia. There are 2 mountain infantry in western Yugoslavia. There's a militia in southern Italy. There's a militia and a German seaplane in Sardinia. In M2, we've got a seaplane on map. The Italians have 2 coastal subs, 1 regular sub, a light carrier with a fighter, 4 destroyers, 1 light cruiser, 4 heavy cruisers, 2 battleships. The Germans also have 5 destroyers, 3 advanced subs, 4 regular subs. Tripoli has 2 Afrika Korps infantry, an Italian infantry, and an Italian motorized. Tobruk has the fortification, 3 Italian infantry, and then for the Afrika Korps, 2 artillery, 2 motorized infantry, 1 light armor, 1 medium armor. There's a marine on Cyprus. There's a naval transport and port in Syria. Syria right now has an Italian marine and infantry and 2 German paratroopers. And really the only other territory is here in Abyssinia. We've got 2, 4, 6. We've got 6 regular infantry, 5 colonial infantry, 1 militia, 1 cavalry, 1 fighter. So that should be it for Italy here on turn number 13. Turning things over to the U.S. KMT.